go our separate ways. It didn't happen that way because the group, the Fifth Wave, never quite broke up. We found that we liked playing. In the early 90s, like around 1992, it might have been a little hard for me to remember when I was having a good time. I joined a rock and roll band that played ska music on the side, composed mostly of writers. Me, myself, and I. Haha, yeah, I wrote all the lyrics. And I contributed to a couple songs with the bass guitar and the electric guitar. And I would play replacement guitar and replacement bass whenever the musicians were not there. I still remember, faintly, it was in the bleak December, with that October breeze moon coming in with the dead leaves on the floor, the origin of the Fifth Wave. The rock bottom remainders were the brainchild of Julian F. Tuna, a book writer and a musician from San Fernando. The group included only himself because he didn't need a band. I didn't need a lead guitar or a bass to walk me along the lines of the melody towards the keyboards. And no metaphors, I am talking straight to the point with you. But imagine if I had an accordion. Haha, that would be. Imagine a mandolin. But it was me on rhythm guitar in the back of my mind. Now, there was also a trio of Los Panchos that played romantic music way back in the 1960s. And that was mostly what I would play on my acoustic guitar, carrying it around wherever I went. Made up usually of the thoughts in my mind. And I created then what came to be a story written by me. The group, the Fifth Wave, was intended as a one-shot, take over the ska scene sort of type of thing. We would play 2 shows every night at the weekend, Saturday and Sunday mostly, when we could. Sometimes in LA and in the Valley. American booksellers would never sell the books I've written because I write the books only I can read. This is private information, I told myself. If you're hearing this audio recording, then how did you get your hands on this recording? I mean, I'm gonna make like a librarian book. Get the fuck out of here, Julian, I said with a few laughs. Ha ha, ha ha. That's how you laugh? That's a laugh. Writing lyrics is not a joke. This is the type of stuff I used to write when I was bored. Recapture our malevolent youth years for 3 or 4 hours straight. Then we would go our separate ways. It didn't happen that way because the group, the Fifth Wave, never quite broke up. We found that we liked playing together too much to quit. And with a couple of ringer musicians on sax and drums, plus in the early days our musical poet was Julian. Brian used to call him Shakespeare, but I was never even remotely close to Shakespeare. But I guess I could rhyme. What I needed to do was develop a style and convey a message and talk about something that actually mattered for a change. But I wasn't able to do that back then. Now I think I can, but it doesn't matter anymore. I'm not in the band. I'm not sad about it either. I'm not upset because I feel nothing towards the abandonment of the band because the fellowship that we once had will always be there. We will always be friends. And they will always be right there in my memory as I recollect. We sounded pretty good. You'd pay to hear us. Not a lot, but maybe like $45 a show, give or take. Not a lot. Not like U2 or Red Hot Chili Peppers, but maybe what the old timers call good times. Like Outsider. When he would get all excited when we would show up to his backyard show, the Fifth Wave, right from the start. We took the group on tour around the Valley in Los Angeles for a couple of years. It was 2 years of non-stop shows, weekend in and weekend out. Wrote a book about it too. The Shadow Before. My girlfriend at the time took photos and danced whenever the spirit took her, which was quite often. In the pit. I mean, I would even worry if I would have to get in if anybody hurt her. I was like the things I get into, man. But I wasn't going to let anybody kick her or drop her down to the floor. But she was in there with the guys, getting gnarly in the pit. If you fall in the pit, you needed to get up quick. And if you were in the pit, you can expect a hit or 2 in the face and an elbow to the side of the ear. Maybe even so, a kick or a bottle thrown from outside of the pit. It might knock you in the head unconscious, but nobody ever left the show in an ambulance. But once there was a stabbing, I recollect while we played and continue to play now and then. Sometimes as digging for them roots, digging for roots, Julian, get it straight. Okay, Molestia Cuatro Quince came along and deciphered all their ways. Sometimes Vito would tell me to write a song I really could stand behind and then walk it like I talk it because that's what it was all about. The personal ideas that came to form would come and go. Columns in an album, more like a demo of 6 songs that replaced the hardcore heavy hitter scene in the ska music industry back then. We were the first band to have a breakdown and drop our instruments to drop D. And we didn't need keyboards to do it like Masturbo, but they were different, you know. They were the pioneers of the sound with the turbo and the song that was so catchy that I used to like a lot. You see, I always admired Masturbo and their unique sound. Turbo Madness, dun 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 dun. They were the opposite of Los Arambola. Kind of like they were perfect to go against each other, like equal opponents. But there was never a real battle. Now when we came along, we were like the third party in there. Now there was 3 of us, a hardcore twice as hard band from the 818 called the Fifth Wave, Los Arambola and Masturbo. When you got all of us playing a show, you know it was going to be good. But the core of the matter was that my ideas remained in the back of my subconscious. Simpson would play trombone, Busso would play drums, Vito would help me write some lyrics, and me, well, I was just myself when I had the microphone in my hands. I got the fans together, I put on a show. Plus, Felix Lopez was a hardcore vocals for the darker side of the music, the distortion. Drums were played by Busso. You know, he could play those drums better than the drummers around, and that was without a doubt. Brandon on sax, playing Regresaré. The intro to that was just, distinctly I remember. My lyrics were actually alright for that. Vivimos una vida y nunca vamos a parar. Then the next week comes, we don't stop, then the drugs pick up, it's an addiction, there's no stop, it's the same fucking cycle, we're just living it again. We've been reincarnated and it's never gonna end. Basically, describe what we were going about in those days. In the first episodes of The Fifth Wave, we do it for the music, but we also do it for the companionship. We like each other. We like having a chance to talk sometimes about the real stuff. The day people are always telling us not to quit was never there because they always wanted us to quit. Because only the fans loved us. The haters, we wrote a song for them from the start, from the beginning of all beginnings. People didn't like The Fifth Wave right at the beginning. We were different. We brought forth another wave. They didn't know anything about the waves back then. Wait, we are arranging this. We are writers, well at least I am. I can tell Brian's a writer too by the way he writes stuff on the Fifth Wave page and on his Facebook account. As for one another, I can tell that Vito is a prolific writer as well. But we never ask each other where we get our ideas from. And me, myself and I, I'm not easily influenced by the people I'm around. Goosebumps when I heard what I wrote down. We know we don't know, but you know me from my old town. I didn't write this so that you can all ignore it. I am not the one to say I'll do it in the morning. Pay me with attention, I'll give you another rain check. All I spit is real life, you don't know what that's like. Oh, this was way before I started the freestyle. Little Wayne wasn't even in the picture. One night, while we were eating Chinese before a gig in Los Angeles, I forgot the actual location. I asked Brian if there was any one question he had never been asked before during a question and answer that follows almost every writer's talk. But you see, he wasn't a writer back then, so that question did not make any sense at all. He was a musician. So I should have asked him, what do people usually ask you when they realize you're in the fifth wave? And how do they react? I mean, he must have been getting the most love back at the time. He was the one that was in charge of the bookkeeping. He told us where to go, when to play, and when to practice. If it wasn't for him, then we probably wouldn't have made it all the way. But we did. Life is a beach and we're just another wave. That reminds me, that question you never get to answer when you're standing in front of a group and in front of the stage and you ask yourself, why do I do this? I have an answer for that. For the moment, I'm here at last. I'm living every second of it. So hold my hand. Live at last. And I'm killing every moment of it. And that's all that I've got. What's your definition of a good show? Thinking about it over and over again, very carefully, and then I said, I lost my train of thought, but it comes right back around just like a hula hoop. Pulling on your coat, I'll tell you something about a cat. Cool Cat Sector Court was a song I used to like a lot, but we had a cover for Zona de Terror. I really like the lyrics to that one. Antes no era así, ya ha cambiado todo, y ahora todo el mundo se revuelve en tu lodo. Ellos te conocen en la zona de terror, eres uno más, sufre de dolor. I guess those were lyrics that I should reminisce and remember. But I guess when I think back, my lyrics were more like towards the end of the fifth wave. Not the end, but towards my final countdown, right before I dropped the mic and left the band. Correction, I got kicked out for reasons that will be revealed to you later on. I was writing stuff like, took over, discussing, make these other bands my hostages. I showered them in gasoline and watched them burn like arsonists. That evidence is buried deep inside of my subconscious. That's a dream that won't be seen by neither you or my accomplice. I guess I was trying to storytell. If the scene is dead, then playing the bands will look exhausted. Witness protection program in exchange for wanted suspects. Don't call yourself a scavenger just because you have a trumpet. Unless it's Danny Kit and you got Buzo on a drum set. Let's occupy LA, let's occupy the valley, and every other store and liquor store in every alley. Borracho en el valle will echo in the valley of my mind as I walk that inevitable walk through the shadow of death. No one ever asked about the language. If it's F it, then F it. Well, now you're speaking my language. And I did write a song called Fuck It. And if it's fuck it, then fuck it. Well, now you're speaking my language. I put your dead body under, yet and why she's with no blanket. I owe an immense debt to the gratitude for my girlfriend at the time for saying that I could do better than the fifth wave. But I never lived up to the expectation. You see, me without a band was like me without a thought inside my mind. At that moment in time, I was just misplaced. I needed a distraction. So I started a new band with me myself playing every single instrument. It was only a demo that I titled Self-Destruction. Thinking about it now, demolition and breaking down was what I was doing because I wasn't building up. I guess I took the negatives and turned them into better pictures. Looking at the picture now, I guess I'm doing better now. Brian did tell me, be the best you that you can be. And I told myself, you don't know what you can do until you try it. And don't let what you can't do get in the way with what you can do. And a turtle that doesn't stick his neck out will be scared of what lies ahead. And its head will always be hidden within its shell. And it will never move, it will be stuck in the same place. But I guess I developed on my ideas. One idea lights a million candles, right? I had been playing with the idea of writing a little book about writing for a year or more. At that time, make it all about the band, the fifth wave, right? But I had held back because I didn't trust my own motivations. Wait, I recollect Brian did tell me, be the voice you want to hear. Was I the voice I wanted to hear? The voice inside my head gave me an earful. Why did I want to write about writing and about being in a band if that has came to pass and that is history? Why? Because if I didn't write about it, then nobody will write about those weekends that we couldn't go without a drink in our hand or a blunt that we smoked or the pills that we popped or the shows that we needed to go to because we felt like nothing was going on and life just wasn't life if there wasn't a show going on. So we just had to find out where the next show was going to be. And if it came to be that it was Saturday and there was no flyer out, hold on, wait, we wrote a song about this. I wrote it for Vito. I guess I influenced his thoughts. What did I write? I forgot. It was the first song I wrote for Molestia 415 when he told me he was in a band and I wasn't in it yet. Intro. We're bored sitting down with nothing to do. Then he comes up with the flyer. There's a show to go to. Get up, grab my hand with the 40 in my hand. Go to the shows, can't get up because we're La Molestia. Yeah. Later on, Vito came up with something for the slow part, which really caught on. Everybody would sing it. Chinguen a su madre los que no nos quieren ver. Chinguen a su madre los que se creen superior. Con el 415, su jefa se mojó. It was pretty cool. People would stop and we would be like, chinguen a su madre. That made it epic. I owe an immense way I'm going back into my mind. What made me think I had anything worth saying? I told myself, is that you are the fear talking, Julian? Are you afraid to write this down? The easy answer is that someone who has written as much fiction as I have must have something worthwhile to say about writing. And someone that has written as much lyrics as I have must have something to say about a band. And someone that has played guitar as much as I have must have something to say about being a musician. But the easy answer isn't always the truth. Nowadays, I keep the key of imagination to open the door. When the lock is open, I take the door off the hinges and I enter the world. I write fiction. But this is real life. Hollis Spit is real life. You don't know what that's like. All I see are green lights, green lights, green lights. So my foot's sleeping on the gas and we go till the wheels fall off. If you're scared, then go to church and get a scripture tat. I look at my skin. I don't have any tats. I don't want to fit in. Wait, I can do without all these little sporadic moments in which I rhyme. Wicked times when I look at the mind. If I was going to be presumptuous enough to tell people how to write or how to play guitar in a band or how to pick up the microphone and be on stage and put on a show, I felt there had to be a better reason than my popular success. What's your definition of success? I think it sucks. Too much stress. I mean, the person who I am and who I want to be cannot connect. But another way, I didn't want to write a book, even a short one like this, that would leave me feeling like either a library gas bag or a tea bag, for lack of a better term, transcendental writer. I'm a book reader. There are enough of these books and those writers around on the market already. Thanks. But what should I write then? The story of my people. But Brian was right. Nobody ever asked about the language. Like, what words did he use? I can never write a song like that. I don't know what words to use. I mean, I just wrote down what was right there in my mind. And I'm schizophrenic, remember? Shut up, Julian. Did you hear what I just said? Get that look out of your face. And wipe that grin off your smile. Got a weird smile. It don't matter, though. Let the freaks out. I get the fans together. Got a strange style, but it's my voice. That's the way I sound now. They asked the members from Masturbo if they like the fifth wave. And without a doubt, they say they have nothing against us. Of course, we never wanted to start a war. I mean, I always looked up to Masturbo. Free on the drums. Roach was a killer vocalist. Yeah, they would get down like, ten cuidado. That song was cool. My favorite song, the first song I heard was Risa del Diablo. Reminiscing from the start, quoting Masturbo in the track The Smell of the Devil. No hay nada diferente en un ser humano. Todos comen, todos cagan, es lo mismo diario. Pero cuando el diablo entra en tu mente, te descontrola todo y te hace diferente. That was perfect, man. They had a story behind it. They had a message. Knock, knock, let the devil in. I will probably write something like, the devil, I opened up the door and then the devil walked inside of my room. He made his a home inside of my life. Now he lives in the shadows. Now I'm in the corner trying to put it all together. He's like, you got a couple books I can read, but I hate reading, Julian. You don't have a television, man. What am I supposed to do here? You talk all day? I don't want to see you read the Bible. And don't think that you're going to portray your message on me. Don't preach to me, Julian. The devil talks and doesn't stop talking, but God gives advice. But if you choose to say, you lose the control. And it doesn't even matter anymore because you forfeit your soul unto him. And then he takes custody and you are waking up in a room. It's cold, but I like that. And you're trapped in a cell. This type of story don't make sense, does it? I write songs, I don't make friends. Judge me, I'm an outcast. That's probably how I would have written something about the devil now. But I made a connection in my mind. Los Arámbula also had a song about the devil. It was called Hoy No Mer. That one went like, dun dun dun, dun 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 dun. Hoy No Mer. Tiene un cuerpo, quoting Potter. Los podría matar. I never really liked the new singer they got. He was alright. I didn't hate him. But Potter was cool. He was the original vocalist. And it was his voice I heard when I heard Con huevos. Now back to Hoy No Mer. Quoting Los Arámbula. Tiene un cuerpo, nos podría matar. Si nos escondemos, nos podría agarrar. Vamos todos a pararlo, no se queden atrás. Porque este pinche demonio no nos va a ganar. It was genius how they got demonio and spelled it backwards to say Hoy No Mer. And they titled the song after that. It was cool how they started the song. Hoy No Mer tiene un cuerpo. The devil took a body and is taking a form. Kind of like how Venom enters its victims and it leeches onto them like a parasite. Now, that was my version of writing like a song like that. If I was thinking about it back then, it would have been perfect for me to write about the devil just like that. Like the lyrics that I told you just now. Because then it would have been all three of us having the same subject matter. Like we all connected in some way. Like a higher form of thinking came into forth in which when we wrote down the lyrics to our song, we were connected in some sort of way. Like we were all conveying a message and we were all thinking the same. Not against each other, but three. A triangle. And we lose the non-believers and the haters. And the atheists in Bermuda. And they reappear when they poof and vanish. I need to be at the TOPOFSKA. I'm giving them the ska. Baby, together we stand. Ball on y'all. Balling with my band. Call it fifth wave beat ball. These bands ain't shit, fifth wave is. I got Mars bars, Three Musketeers. When it comes to beef, give me A1 sauce. I keep my pride on the side with the safety. I took my time when I made this. They tried to kill me, but I'm hard to kill again. Something like that. I lost myself. Well, Eminem did say lose yourself in the music. The problem with this was that there was no music being played. But you know, kind of sounds like a poem, right? If it rhymes, then it rhymes. What follows is an attempt to put down briefly and simply how I came to the craft. What I know about it now and how it's done. It's about the day I drop the mic and pick up the pen. It's about the language. I should write this down in red ink to represent the blood that circulates within me because my heart is pumping the stories and I don't need a beat. And I could bring ska back with another band like a cardiac. And I'm gonna keep that heart pumping. Julian brought that heart back. Ska was dead. It just had a heart attack. The book is dedicated to Vito, Uso, Brian, Simpson, Renee, Felix, Jose, Lupe. Jose is Lupe. Coco. Everybody that was in the band. And anybody that I didn't mention, I just didn't want to go down the list, you know? The names go on and on. Basically, you know who you are. If you knew me at one point in time, but have lost contact with me, well, that doesn't matter anymore. Because you'll always be there in my mind. The people I grew up with, they don't look at me the same now. But they're always with the same crowd. What should I say now? Nothing was the same now. Now that I'm around, writing books will be different. Who told me in a very, wait. I remember Vito told me in a very simple and direct way that it was okay to write it. You don't always have to freestyle. I got a call from Little Wayne the other day, and he told me, Julian, you should go back in that mental state of mind when you were in a band and you were writing songs about the scene, because I like those days. And you should pick up the guitar and play it every once in a while. And you should always have love for the fifth wave because it would always be a part of you. And Molestia 415 will always have a place in your heart. Chapter 2, The Shadow Before. Okay, this was a nightmare dream escape land in which I called the San Fernando Valley. Now my voice will echo in the valley of your mind when I repeat the next four words for us. Now wait, Julian, what's another fifth wave quote for us? Estoy borracho en el valle, caminando por la calle, yo no sé pa' dónde voy, fumando mota, siempre estoy from the beginning of all beginnings. I was drunk. Goosebumps when I heard La Pobresca play their intro. They got down. Now that was days when my heart was volcanic. Now, split a Swisher Sweet and put the weed in a blunt like a parenthesis. Have a candlelit dinner with me, Amorta, and ask yourself, am I really just a mortal? Or why be a human being or a band member when I could be a writer? Why be a writer when I could be? Never mind, you don't want to say that. I swear to drunk, I'm not God. But I guess, Father, forgive me for my brash delivery. I should have really talked about religion back then. I almost did at one time. Renee came up to me one day telling me about a song he wrote called Biblio. It went something like, todo en tu libro son mentiras, mentiras. Then I was like, mentiras, mentiras, no miras, no miras. And then I just got stuck with that. But I didn't know that what I was about to think later on in the future came to pass. That the days came and went, and there was a time for everything. A time to sit down and write some lyrics for a song. A time to reminisce my experiences in my life. A time to think about my adolescence. A time to be a reckless youth. A time to be in a band. A time to pick up the guitar and play. A time to play a romantic song to my girlfriend later on in the day before the sun goes down. A time to listen to old forgotten music that is still barely around. Music that nobody else will really listen to. This type of music went along the lines of una copa más, sabor a mí. Tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor que por fuerza llevo ya sabor a mí. Solamente una vez amé la vida con la dulce y total indecisión. Quizás y quizás y quizás, siempre que te pregunto que cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes. Quizás, quizás, quizás como un rayito de luna bajo la sierra dormida. Algo la luz de mis ojos iluminando mi pobre vida. No puedo verte triste porque me mata. Can you picture ska music in the background with a beat on a tempo? I found a beat en un momento. Tu carita de pena, mi dulce amor. Hemos jurado amarnos hasta la muerte. Y si los muertos aman, después de muertos, amarnos más. Reminiscing when I was back in the fifth wave. When I write my lyrics, they go along the lines of Nocturno, descelaje deslumbrante. Tu encanto rememora cada instante. Romance sobre el tiempo en que vivieras. Con el alma iluminada, descubriendo en tu mirada un amor que nadie, que digan lo que digan. Le pese a quien le pese, que hablen los que hablen. Tú a mí me perteneces. Son el cielo, la luna y el mar. Contigo aprendí a ver la luz del otro lado de la luna. Contigo aprendí que tu presencia no la cambio por ninguna. Molestia 415. Yo aprendí. It's just me and Vito Low straight off the rip. If anybody mess with him, I'll lay him down quick. Que la semana tiene más que 7 días. Same style, but my songs are better. Que mantener cercas tus mejores alegrías. Que hay luz del otro lado de la luna. Contigo aprendí. Contigo aprendí. Que existen bellas y mejores emociones. You're emotional, Julian. This was therapy for me. Music had always been like that for me. Contigo aprendí a conocer un mundo nuevo de emociones. Aprendí que la semana tiene más de 7 días. Que con un beso ser más dulce y más profundo. Las cosas bellas yo contigo las viví. Y contigo aprendí que yo nací el día en que te conocí. Yeah, something like that. Reminiscent, huh? Yeah. Okay, now. Flip the switch, I broke the lights down in the basement, writing my lyrics in the dark. I'm the type to rent out a hotel room and just ignore everybody to read a book. Okay, lights off, we're in a radio, fifth wave, turn that shit up. Lights on, we're in the radio, fifth wave, turn that shit up. Excuse my charisma. Vodka with a spritzer I was drinking before I came. When I got here, I did the same. I don't like beer, I like champagne. So cheers, Little Wayne. Little Wayne is all you gotta say or mention. Nicki Minaj in a dress, and the beauty's in the eye of the beholder, but I guess she's dressed as Wonder Woman, and it's Halloween, and every day is Halloween around here. You can get your jack-o'-lantern smashed. Nightmare before I tell you what I'm about to begin. Open up a book and turn the page. Okay, in the beginning of all beginnings, my world was a different place. My world was the fifth wave world. In that world, ska music reigned supreme. That world was different from the world everybody else lived. And if you weren't in the ska scene, then you didn't know of that world. I was introduced to that world. One day, I was walking by. Nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but I guess they forgot about the fifth wave. So now, this is the return of the wait. I'm interested in the origin of my people. You see, the fans, and the groupies, and the models that took pictures for our band, with our names written on their chest, and the people that followed us around were my people. Nowadays, I'm feeling like an outcast. I'm being myself, I am nobody else. But at least no one laughs and tells me to get out, because they don't invite me to the shows, but like I still arrive back into my mind. I'm buried alive because if you're listening to this, I know you dig me. Now where's that shovel at? Because I'm underground. I'm not digging for them roots, and I never was. But if they start playing, I'll get into the pit right now. You see, mom and dad, they quite don't understand it. Why they teenager wants to dress in black and drink alcohol and skank the night away to the fifth wave. Why the girls want to wear torn pantyhose and laugh about the things they want to laugh about. You think it's funny now? The power of the music's not a joke. Yeah, okay. Now, do you want to go to a show? My friends pick me up in a van at 11:30. I walk with the girls and they mark our hands and the girls get in free. And if you're not in the band, then you pay your 3. That was the cost of a local show back then in the valley. So when you see her standing there outside of the pit with green eyes, red, long blonde hair, red hair like Rihanna maybe, Jorge Burnett, it don't even matter. Black hair, whatever you want. She won't be wearing underwear, and you'll find out that this girl's not the one, and she'll never be fun. So you should just turn and run, because that night I found out that all these ska bands sound like my band. They are mimicking our style. Haha, I can hear it in their songs right now. It's kind of like they're playing bits and pieces of our old songs, but now we got a new style. It don't matter now, because the new songs that we're making are gonna change the genre forever now. Raise the bar and set the standards. Right back to the story. Where was I? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. You see, shut up, Julian. That's my girlfriend screaming in the trunk. But I didn't pull out her eyes. I mean, I wanted her to see me. I drank a fifth of vodka, dare me to talk about my life. I mean, I'm going 90 on the freeway on the road up. You are almost headed to the show. Wait. Vito, do you see my headlights? Clemente don't invite me to Evil Core parties no more. That doesn't matter. I give off another vibe. As soon as he sees me, he's like, Julian, you do not belong in here. And I'm like, why? Because I'm 2 planets away and you're afraid to collide? But I guess, if it's on, then it's on. Till the wheels fall off, I can always fix a flat. Like that Ashton Kutcher, I'm a limit pusher. See, all these bands are dead meat, and I am just a butcher. I never did it for the money. No, I was not a hooker. And Scott was my girl until they up and took her. Look into the future, Julian. It's right behind your eyelids. But wait, I don't want to know, because damn, I like surprises. Why that? Why this? Why the fifth wave? Said, why you on that why shit? All these other people ask me why I say YM. All I listen to is Weezy, Little Weezy, Haha, yeah. Young Money. I don't need a label telling me what I can do. And I wish I could sound like Lil Wayne, but I cannot decide if I should. Write a book like Stephen King and have a conversation that goes on for hours with the character I just created inside of my mind. You see, I'm getting into character now. Big steps in the game, you know the Hulk is running. My thoughts are funny, I feel like I'm onto something. Thursdays were the worst days, right before Friday came around. Another show. Okay, now, heavy hitters. Now, okay, where was I? Oh yeah, archaeologists want to dig the surface of the ground to see what they find. What they might find would probably be the hatchet that I buried there when we wanted to make peace with the bands that were there before us. Now we paid our respects. Now it was our turn to be humble just like the rest, and paved the way for the bands that were about to come right after that. Because a lot of bands came out after us, and we probably influenced a lot of musicians. I mean, I can't tell you how many times people tell us, I listened to your songs and then we wanted to start a band, and we did. And now we are, whatever they are called. I mean, I never remembered. I only cared about the music that I made, I guess. But I accepted everybody. I mean, they got a need for effort. All these sucky bands I don't want to listen to. I heard your record, I was laughing at it. I mean, where's the real music at? Fifth Wave dropped the demo about a week ago. Now that was great, but I'm wondering what's coming next. I always wanted to make new songs. So, with Molestia Cuatro Quince, we did just that. We had song after song after song after song. A bunch of them went forgotten in the graveyard of lost songs. Like, I shouldn't even mention Killer Clown, intro number 2. What was that other one, Misery? The Return of the Killer Clown, Pinche Negra. We had a lot of songs that we used to play, but we created a lot of new songs that we formed a new sound for us, and we were different now. We sounded kind of like a mix between what you wanted to hear when you wanted to skank and pit and mosh at the same time. With lyrics by Beetle, damn, you know that was on fire. His flow was like hot Cheetos in the black bag, flaming.
415.
And I guess Jose really developed as a drummer as we went along. So did Lewis with his bass lines. And I, of course, started experimenting with a couple different riffs while only listening to Lil Wayne. You see, back at the time, I didn't listen to any music that was rock. I would only listen to hip-hop, and hip-hop, to me, was Lil Wayne or anything Young Money. But, you see, I didn't want to listen to rock or ska bands because then I would make music like them. I wanted to listen to Lil Wayne rap about whatever he wanted to rap about because he made me think. And I was influenced by that reason alone, and that was driving me. And that force gave me a momentum. And then I would play guitar for hours and hours, making new songs, and I would show up to practice, and I would play my riffs, and they would fall in love with it. Like the last song that I am really proud of that gave me goosebumps when I heard it was Ouija Board. That song was heavy. I guess if I would put lyrics to that for the sake of you to get it and understand maybe a little bit of it more, I will put some lyrics on it right now. Let me freestyle. Nightmares I cannot escape are always in my mind. I look within. This is the backpack that I keep right close. Okay, I'm looking within, and I can never find a reason to go back in the mind. I guess I'm always in I'm looking in, and I know everything is going back, and going back with the flow. It don't even matter why going back in the mind. What I'm seeking now, I guess this is the return of going back in the knowing now, and everything I'm looking into. Everything is looking back into the moment now. This is just a time. It ain't really all that good. Where was my story? Oh yeah, the archaeologists will probably find me buried alive because you dug my grave, but I pushed you in, so it's you who is buried alive. So they will probably find your corpse. Human remains, traces of fires and spear arrows, maybe a gun or a bullet or a lipstick from Kissing Kate Barlow. From that book, Hose. Yeah, they thought they were going to find a buried treasure. But dissect my story here and break apart what I have said, and you would find a gold mine hidden with each and every word.
Outcast.
What, is that a little hard for you to digest? Well, you're not hungry right now? I got an appetite for this story, and I'm
Outcast.
about to satisfy what I am talking about.
Outcast.
Okay, I'm not interested in time or the existence of it,
Outcast.
but let me tell you something how it was.
Green lights, green lights, green
Introduction
lights.
to Chapter 3. I'm sitting on the couch on the living room of my house in the Hollywood Hills for a change of scenery. It's a clear, crisp January day, and from my vantage point, I can see the beautiful expanse known as the San Fernando Valley. I bet you can all relate, huh? This conversation began in 2008 when I was younger. I subscribed to the conventional wisdom shared by everyone who lived on the Hollywood side of the hills. Hollywood should make a movie about the ska scene. Yeah, that the valley was a place where the losers who couldn't make it out in Hollywood went and disappeared. That was totally untrue. We drove from the valley to LA to make an appearance, and the people in Hollywood always wanted to hear the music that was playing in the valley. And the valley always had a sound that echoed within the walls, and a city that is on top of a mountain cannot be easily hidden. So a band that made it in the valley always sounded better in LA, but when they played in the valley, it felt just like home. But the longer I've lived here, the more I've come to appreciate the valley as a soulful and quieter side of the Los Angeles experience. Now, I can't wait to wake up and look out at those majestic mountain ranges topped with snow. Bitterly cold, I tell you. Wake me up when September ends, I'll be gone till November, reading Little Wayne's diary. But the doorbell interrupts my reverie. A few minutes later, a beautiful young woman, a model, that took a picture with the fifth wave written on her breast, enters the living room. She had a boyfriend, but that never played any important role in my mind, in which I never thought about it for any reason whatsoever. I mean, she could have been single, and it would have been the same thing. But the fact that she had a boyfriend, well, we had to keep this a secret, right? But how could it be a secret? She knew he was going to find out that she gave us that picture. We will put it on our default. She was proud to be on our fan page. I mean, she looked beautiful. Carrying the exquisite letter case, she opens it and begins to set up the equipment. Let me set up. Like the melody goes together, like this is eHarmony. But I'm not poetic, but don't push me. Her preparation's complete, and the done sterile rubber gloves. She was the nurse that told me I was the sickest in the ska scene, and that my band had the antidote for the remedy. Let the body sit the floor down with the sickness, and then she sits next to me on the couch in my garage right before we had practice. The elegant large glass syringe on my flow, like a needle sticking to the point, handcrafted in Italy. I've never been there, but it didn't even matter. I read a book about it too. Eat, Pray, and Love, written by a woman that is intelligent as well. It's attached to a spaghetti-shaped weight. The vomit on his sweater already, yeah, mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks like a piece of plastic that contains a small microfilter, so no impurities will pass into my bloodstream. We can coagulate, right? Yeah. Circulating through my blood was the music, and I was driven by the fifth wave. The needle is a brand new, completely sterilized microfine butterfly variant. I found a loophole in the space and time continuum, and it came to be that I will explain myself through the butterfly effect, through the theory of relativity. Today, my friend has misplaced her normal medical tourniquet, so she pulls out her pink fishnet stocking and uses it to tie up my right arm. I'm about to shoot up a dose of ska music adrenaline. She dabs at the exposed vein with an alcohol swab. I mean, don't I paint the picture pretty vivid? Then hits the vein with the needle. I'm sticking to the point, right? Find a needle in a haystack with the thread through. Back to my story. My blood comes oozing up into the spaghetti-shaped tube, like expected, and then she slowly pushes the contents of the syringe into my bloodstream. Damn, thank you for the diesel. It felt like gasoline had been introduced to my body, and I was pumped. Circulating through my veins was the feeling to write a new song. I immediately feel the familiar weight at the center of my chest. So, mess with me, there'll be 100 million people at your door telling you the fifth wave is about to play a show in your backyard and we're about to come in, whether you like it or not. So I just, wait, you got a problem with the fans now? You can talk about it with my, wait. I never give you the time. I used to let her inject me 4 times in one sitting. That's when I wrote down Judgment Day, ripping out my skin over and over again, feeling every inch of it to this life. There's no end. But now I'm down to 2 syringes full. Thinking in my mind, I know my thoughts are better. Got a weird smile, but I like it though. Talk about it when I walk up to the microphone. After she's refilled the syringe and given me my second shot. Fifth wave ska. Get that pitch started, don't you ever fucking stop. Keep the circle going, it's time to scan shit up. Todos pierden, todos matan, es la vida, no se acaban, tratan, llegó la quinta ola. Jumpman, así se siente la muerte. Jumpman, atrapado en tu mente. Jumpman, una cárcel en la mente. First I gotta jump in at the crib, yeah. Nobody was famous where I live, yeah. Felt like Richie Valens in the day. Wrote a song for Donna on the way. My girlfriend's hair was red just like Rihanna's. She wasn't a virgin like Madonna, but I swear, Your Honor, last night I was on her, and only God can judge me. I only write the lyrics. She withdraws the needle, opens a sterile cotton swab, and applies pressure to my puncture wound for at least a minute to avoid bruising or marking on my arms. My thoughts are patient now. I'm falling back. She laid me down. I'm drifting off into a semi-conscious state. I've never had any track marks from the administrations. Finally, she takes a little piece of medical tape and attaches the cotton to my arm. Then we would talk for hours about the fifth wave and about the lyrics and about the ideas I had. Back then I wasn't such a writer, but now I am. Chapter 3. Now, let the drummer have some. Boozer can play the drums like Travis Barker. I could probably play guitar like Tom DeLonge. And Brian could probably play bass like Mark Hoppus. Together we can form a cover band for Blink-182. But that's not what we're going to do. We're still in the band, the fifth wave. This was back at the time. Okay, the date was probably like March 24th, 2018. Julian was somewhere in the dark. Boozer couldn't see him, but his voice was loud and clear, rough but a little hoarse. Julian always sounded like he had a cold, had an accident when he was a kid. When I was just 5, I used to be afraid of the dark. Now I sleep with the nightlight on. Haha, that's funny. He never said what, but there was a dilly of a scar on his Adam's apple. I read scar tissue from Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers just because Lil Wayne told me to read it. And I got it just because Lil Wayne told me to get it. And I read it just because Lil Wayne told me to read it. And now I love it, and I'm into it. So now, reminiscing on the diary written by Lil Wayne when he was incarcerated in Rikers Island. Gone until November. This was back at the time, I mean. Woke up. Not that one, you dummy. It's got Los Arambula written all over it. That song sounds too similar to, what was that song? Knock on Wood was the other one.
Don't make sense,
I forgot.
does it?
You know, it doesn't even matter
Songs
now.
that don't
Make a new song.
sense.
2 years old. No more, no less. So you need to tell me,
I never
you want me to
been married,
remember
but
a melody I
got
wrote
divorced.
2 years
Hi,
ago
I'm
just to make it
sure we
original
met
enough for you to
before.
like it? He's like, yeah, it has to come from deep within your experience as a musician. Okay, how about this riff? That's a perfect bass line. Nobody remembers them until you hear what you hear. And if they got ears, and let them hear. I know they're listening now. And no stickers, unless it's Juanito's car and the sticker reads The Fifth Wave, along with a bunch of other stickers from the local valley bands. Brian passed a little car with the bumper stickers and kept walking. The faint thump of the bass reached him even here. At the far end of the beer joint's parking lot, before we entered the knitting factory, it was Saturday night and the place was crowded. Eva Cole was throwing another show. I think it was the heavyweights, because it couldn't have been Star Wars. Or was it? I could be mistaken, for lack of a better memory. The air was bitterly cold. But I had a flannel on, and all these fans are squares. I'm seen in a grid. Pistol off my boxers, I ain't got time to be boxing. Kurt Cobain killed rock and roll with one bullet, and my bullet come with wings, rest in peace. He had hitched me right into town. Now I made my way into Hollywood, as I'm walking down the boardwalk, with the bass guitar in my hand. I had just finished breaking the knitting factory windows, and I was having the time of my life because they kicked me out. I was too drunk apparently. Quiero amanecer en la botella nadando, quiero amanecer con la... En la mañana cantando, quiero amanecer bailando, skanking in the pit, tomando, quiero amanecer with the Fifth Wave. Playing music, quiero amanecer. With my thoughts, I'm amusing. Quiero amanecer, got the muse telling me now. Quiero amanecer at the show, now I'm skanking. Quiero amanecer, bailando. Quiero amanecer, skanking in the pit, en la botella, nadando. Quiero amanecer, ha, I just made that shit right now on the spot. That's pretty cool, a little bit catchy. I probably like it. The beat of it could probably go like in the background. Es the Fifth Wave, es la voz, es the way. Es the Fifth Wave, es the way. Es the Fifth Wave, es the way. I remember Brian saying, make way for the Fifth Wave, and he walked through the show, right through the pit, carrying the instruments to the spot where he laid him down, and then he stood his ground, saying, we are the Fifth Wave, make way. And okay, her body so low, and her body so wet, I walk into the show, screaming my lyrics like, I never ever asked to become this way. I don't know. And okay, now make way. I got a lot of loot and looking for a lady, but you can call me Julian with the Fifth Wave we see, baby. Yeah, and then they're like, Julian, where you been? And I'm like, around the world, and now I'm back again. Yeah, they've been asking where the Fifth Wave has been. Around the world, and now we're back again. Yeah, I feel big in this, or giant like Colossal, but I still feel microscopic from the end of it. This is my song, Coconut Ciroc. I wish I could take a shot with Pac. I'm bumping Little Wayne, and I came through in a truck that was red cherry. And my bullet come with wings, and your self-propellant can fly. Oh yeah, I'm giving them the blues. The ska is on for the night, and the open air for 40 minutes we would play the music that we made. His ears were numb. Everybody's ears were numb. They were like, what is this? And we were like, this is mind control. I got mind control over mind control. What I cannot control, I let the band control. And the Fifth Wave controls the ska scene when we play. He has started to take his hands out of his jacket pockets and put them over his ears. But Julian put the kibosh on that. Julian said his ears could freeze, but his hands were for the microphone. You didn't need your ears to hotwire a car. What you needed was a key. I got ska, hip-hop, and rock and roll on lock. Sever the ties, I'm better than ever alive. It was there, above zero. Get over here, freeze temperatures, 1,000 degrees. It's getting hot and bling bling, the Fifth Wave. There, Julian said, on your right, start the pit. Busa looked at him and saw that Julian wasn't playing around. With a sticker that read the Fifth Wave on the door, I had just pasted it, and my lyrics are sticky like the adhesive tape. It didn't look like the right kind of song we wanted to play. No, not at all. This song was different. That's your left, Julian. 3 lefts make a right. You're right, Julian. The hand you grab the microphone with. The hand you hold the pick and strum the guitar with. Look alive, look alive. Not the other side. Hold the weight. I never want to sound like Drake. Then why are you singing one of his songs? I never sang one of his songs. You just repeated his lyrics. Wait, I can't help myself. I mean, sometimes I feel like Drake is in my head and I can't get him out. And I don't even listen to him like that. What I should be listening to is the voice inside my head. But when I listen to a song that replays in my head without my control, the voice inside my head withers away. I'm sorry, Julian. Yes, he was being dumb again. He could write a song about whatever he wanted to and just call it lyrics. But instead of writing raps, you should be writing your book, Julian. A book. I never had the idea to write a book. Not until then. I needed a hand to write. So I'm going to write until I get arthritis. Julian, if you get arthritis. Wait, my writing is all scribbly. Write this down. Sign your name. Why does it look like a doctor's signature? Like nobody can understand my writing. I write like a doctor. Arthritis in my hand from writing. But people don't understand my writing because I write like a doctor. I'm writing. My ambitions as a writer. I thought of that hand and I looked to that side. Imagine if the left hand was a hook. Then I would be like Captain Hook in Neverland shooting down Peter Pan, and Tinkerbell is getting angry. And she's jealous because I fell in love with Wendy. And the woman of my dreams is filled with envy. And she's trying to find a way to get back at me. Tinkerbell, fly away. I mean, you'll always come back. I mean, you'll get over it. Don't worry about it, Wendy. Peter Pan said. Peter Pan was nowhere around, Julian. Is this you reminiscing days when you used to watch Disney movie classics back in your room when all you would see were cartoons way before the girl was calling out the television? Oh yeah, I'm reminiscing now. Julian walked over to the Honda Civic, elaborately casual. He looked over his shoulder. The beer joint was rolled, and the bar was called the Cobalt. That was a stupid name, I said. What does it even mean? I did not know the definition. It was a walk down. There was a band on Friday and Saturday nights. But we were second to the top of the flyer, so we were almost a headlining band. Under Ocho Calacas. We were still twice as hard. It would be crowded and warm inside. Lots of little girls in short skirts dancing up a storm, skanking in the pit. It would be nice to go inside just to look around, I said. Julian, you're in the band. Of course you're going to go in. I know, but the excitement is filling my head up with thoughts, and I'm looking at everybody as a victim, and I'm thinking, everybody could be a corpse by the end of the night if I had a gun. I mean, these thoughts really went on in my mind. I was hard-headed, but if you had a gun and you shot me in the head, I bet I wouldn't open up. But if I had a gun, I would make everybody open up their mind to wonder, because if they see what they believe, then their mind is close to the imagination, and I have the key to the lock. What are you supposed to be doing, Julian asked. Practicing my lyrics, because I have a tendency to forget. You couldn't fool anybody. Just do it, huh? Yeah, I put my Nikes on and then I run. I'm getting into character now. I'm really the lead singer of the band. Okay, I was just another front man in a ska band. What's so important about that? Yeah, I know what you just said. Keep your mind on your business. And I got a hit. I'm killing all these ska bands. You would swear I had a hit list. Okay, what are you, Julian? I am not a human being. I am not a human being. He hung his head, snorted back something, and I'm just a writer. Julian always said there was no shame in this, but it was a fact that you had to recognize it. You couldn't fool anybody into thinking you were smart. So I couldn't write a song about proverbs like, you could bring the horse to the fountain of water, but you can't make him drink. You could dress her up, but you can't take her out. Or to know the difference from the wise sayings and the sayings of the wicked. To know the discipline it requires to understand the knowledge that is before you when you fear nothing but the Lord. It opens the door to understanding. And only then you will understand what you know. I know that wisdom is what you know and what you don't know. They looked at you and saw the truth. The lights were on, but nobody was home. Yeah, I always felt like that. If you were in a book written by Stephen King, you would have been doing what you would be doing, but a little bit differently. I'm all about my business. Get out, Julian. You do not belong. And if you were caught, you owned up to everything except for the band that was with you. The Fifth Wave wasn't involved in what I was doing. I was actually thinking about murdering everybody in the pit after we played our song, or maybe just shooting the frontman to every ska band that was getting played at night. But I couldn't bring myself to get a gun. If the motive's not to kill them, what's the point of having guns? I just wanted to scare them a little, put some holes in them. Not shoot them 9 times. I knew they were not cats, and they didn't have cat lives. I mean, just shoot them once to tell them that the Fifth Wave was something different. Everybody was looking like a victim when the drugs and alcohol was in the system. I felt like an animal, and I was becoming to be the monster I was afraid to be. Anyway, I never really did it. I'm suicidal, so don't stand near me. I'm glad I didn't have that gun. I would have killed Ska and the Fifth Wave along with me. Julian said. I couldn't lie word shit. Julian took his hands out of his pocket and flexed them twice. His knuckles popped in a cold, still air. You ready, Julian? Sid asked. Yes. Then I'm going to get a beer. Take care of it. Then the panic started when the Fifth Wave took the stage and I grabbed the mic. It was Vicious Valley recording everything on video. Well, reporting live from the top of the food chain. This is the Fifth Wave. In the early 90s, like around 1992, it might have been a little...
Cuando ya no me escuchen mis canciones tristes, yo me iré para un pueblo y allí moriré. Cayó mi copa sin darme cuenta. Ella quiso quedarse cuando vio mi tristeza, pero ya estaba escrito que aquella noche perdiera su amor. Borracho yo he nacido, borracho yo he crecido, y sé sinceramente que borracho he de morir.